Welcome to the Star Wars Stuff Podcast, where we talk about all things Star Wars. My name is James.
My name is David.
And we have a guest with us, so go ahead and introduce yourself. And we are live from Spacecon right now, and that's the title of our episode. And we have a crowd of one here watching us, so thank you very much.
Yeah, shout out to the guy back there.
Yeah, actually, we can take it back. There are 1,000 people watching us right now.
Yeah, hey, everyone cheer.
Hello,
hey!
Hello, So we're having a great time here. This is day 2 of Spacecon, and it's been pretty cool, actually. It's been a lot of fun.
But before we get started, we definitely want to thank our top-tier Patreon supporters.
Yes.
Starting with Darth Ace 1, who's actually walking the floor here.
Yeah, I saw him.
Liam McCallion, Chris Simpson, Kevin Leininger, Deb McCaffrey, Drew Peters, Zach Netzel, Maya Morris, Maka Tautala, Adam Haber, Brad Mackey, Front Row King, and Darth Beard. Thank you so much for your awesome love and support.
Yes, and if you hear cheering, there's an actual panel happening. Right? Is that Ming Na Wen?
It's Ming Na Wen. Ming Na Wen is on the stage. Yeah.
We should be over there listening, but we wanted to talk to y'all first a little bit about Star Wars. Before we get into the con, some breaking news. We actually found out that the screenwriter of the Rey film has officially left the project of the Rey Star Wars movie. It's official. That was Ted. He's the moderator of our he's the moderator of the con. Thank you, Ted. That was great. But yeah, the screenwriter is no longer going to be on the Rey film.
Yeah, Stephen Knight.
He has left, and
so it's official. It's no longer a rumor.
Yeah, it's official.
Okay.
Variety put out the report, and I usually, like I always say, always wait for like Variety or for Hollywood Reporter to tell you. They did say it. A little bummed. We have been hearing about it this whole time, but now it's official. What are your thoughts on that? Are you a little bummed out?
Is that movie ever going to get off the ground? That's what I want to know at this point. It was looking bleak, and now it just, you dropped that bomb on me right now, live. I did not.
Oh, gosh.
Wait for that.
Did you know?
Doing it live.
About that? Oh, yeah. No, yeah. It's a little bit of a bummer. The director's still attached. And what's really interesting is that Daisy Ridley was just asked about it. And she was like, yeah, I know the story. I know what's happening. And there's like announcements that are going to be imminent. And I'm like, was that the announcement you were talking about?
Right. That's crazy. I saw that report. She said there was going to be some developments that were going to be announced. I mean, it's wild that this is the development. We lose the writer. It's going to set the film back in time.
Yes.
We're no longer going to have those dates that were set in stone, we thought, for 2026. 2 films in, 1 film in 2027. So once again, Star Wars is kind of like in this weird kind of moving, like weird state that it's like, when are they going to kind of get their act together in a way? Because they make these announcements. And I mean, to me, the writer, I don't understand why Stephen Knight was the guy that they wanted to stick with through like thick and thin. It seems like there were rumors in the past that he couldn't get the script done, or he wanted to maybe move on. So there's always been this like kind of like dark cloud over this whole situation.
Do we know a why as to why he's leaving, or is it just that he's leaving and that's it?
I don't think we know why for sure, but I think there is that same old thing with Disney. I think that they have a mandate and they set strict deadlines, and I think maybe he couldn't meet that, or he thought maybe he'd come up with something better, because it feels like in the past, going all the way back to 2015, they hired who's a writer?
Michael Arndt.
Michael Arndt, the guy that did Little Miss Sunshine, and he told him it's going to take 3 years to write The Force Awakens. And Kathleen Kennedy said, I hope you don't take that long. And I guess there was kind of an agreement that he wouldn't take that long, but yes, he was going to take that long. So he was removed from the project, and they brought in, of course, a different writer, which is, of course, J.J. Abrams, Lawrence Kasdan. They went through the script, wonderful script. We saw the original, but of course, Harrison Ford broke his ankle in the Falcon. The script changed to give him time to think about changing and reduxing the whole thing. So there's been issues in the past like this, far past in Disney, pretty much at the Genesis. So I just really wonder what's going on with the whole like hiring and
The film
firing
seems cursed at this
fiasco
point.
with writers and directors.
It seems cursed. I mean, it just feels like it's never going to get off the ground.
It feels, yeah, it feels cursed, but like at the same time, like you said, why do they hire writers who are insanely busy? And it's like, why do you do that? And Stephen Knight, not only does he have the Peaky Blinders movie that he's writing, and I think he's even directing, if I'm not mistaken, or he may just be writing it, but he also has like 3 other projects that he's also developing, a movie and a TV show. And it's like he was way too busy to be hired as the writer of Star Wars. And I agree. You hire a writer, they should be focused entirely on Star Wars. That's been my opinion this whole time. You hire a writer, you're gonna write Star Wars, stay on Star Wars. And yeah, I was a little bummed about the news. But like David said, the project is probably going to be pushed. It is going to be pushed back.
It just feels like back when they announced all these movies, and then when they did this, and this was like, okay, they brought Daisy on stage, it's happening, and now again we're like, is it
So
like Rogue
I don't think we're
Squadron
saying
again?
it's not happening. I think it seems like it's super delayed. I think they paid Daisy Ridley $10 million.
Yeah.
I think that's
Was
in
this
their
supposed to be the
contract.
first one though that came out of the series of movies?
I think it's supposed to be the second one.
It's- yeah.
Manu Grogu first in May, then the Rey movie, and then the next year would be the James Mangold 25,000 Years in the Past.
Can I ask you guys who then you think would be a good replacement for this? I mean, I think you guys know.
for the writer.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many talented writers out there. Who do you have in mind?
I don't think I have a particular writer in mind, but I know there are so many different writers out there that are hardcore Star Wars fans that are chomping at the bit that want to create a Star Wars film. Now, established writers out there have kind of seen the past history with Disney and Star Wars, and some of them are very hesitant, and they don't want to go near the project. What comes to mind is like directors like David Fincher. He was asked to do The Force Awakens, didn't want to do it because he thought about the possible repercussions that he might like get like incurred on what he creates, because I mean the fan base is what it is, and we kind of saw that with The Last Jedi. It came to play out, and that's the same thing with the writers, I think. And there's a lot of established people. There's a lot of people that are unestablished that are like really itching and really want to prove what they can do. And there's just so much more depth and lore that a writer could come in and swoop in. It feels like to me that there is going to be a person that kind of swoops in and not so much cleans house, but reestablishes Star Wars where I think it should be.
That would be great. Somebody, Darth Beard said, do you think this was just the first draft? If you want a sticker, you can take a sticker.
Earlier, I spun and got a
All right, awesome.
Awesome.
You got to win the wallet.
We ran out of prizes. Sorry about that. But so yeah, as you can tell, the con is still going on, so we're still talking. Darth Beard said, "Do you think that he was hired?" We'll talk about that later. That Stephen Knight was hired just to deliver the first draft. Possibility. I mean, I could see that happening, but that's also very crazy for Lucasfilm to do that and to also set your release date, which was December of 2026, right? That's kind of where that was going to be. So the question is, like you said, there are writers out there chomping at the bit to write a Star Wars movie. Would you want a new writer, or would you want an established writer to take on this? Somebody you know is going to do a great job, like a Lawrence Kasdan coming in last minute to save the day, something like
stop experimenting. Nail this movie, please, for the franchise.
that. Okay. So yeah, bring in somebody who
Established. I think we've experimented a little bit. We've had some newcomers come in, and it's not super well received. I think the fan base needs a home run.
What do you got?
It kind of goes back to what I said earlier, that I mean, we're running through all these like famous directors, famous writers, and proven writers in the industry, and I mean, it doesn't feel like these proven commodities want to come on and do a Star Wars project.
Yeah.
So it almost feels like by default they're going to have to go to these new creators, these young people that I'm all for. I mean, if they're huge fans, the better. I really prefer that. Like I said, I like for someone to swoop in and kind of reestablish what Star Wars used to be, and I think it can totally be done. It just has to be executed, and that's all that I think that all of us fans are really asking for.
Yeah.
yeah, I could see that would be great to have that new young or older screenwriter coming in and just getting Star Wars, understanding it, and then just giving us the goods. I think that's what we all want. Like you said, I mean, kind of what you said, but also it's like, man, but imagine, but imagine if they bring in somebody new and we see the movie and we're just like, oh my gosh, that's it.
Yeah,
that is Star Wars.
Unfortunately, I just feel like recently we've been experimenting a little bit too much, and I love it because, right, where did Star Wars start? It started with this visionary George Lucas, who is this, like, I mean, not unknown at the time, but
yeah.
But that was then, and Star Wars is in a little bit of a different. I'd say the fan base is a bit split-ish right now, and I think, like I said, I think we just need a home run, especially like with the kind of the bad news of Acolyte getting canceled and things like that.
Yeah.
I just feel like we need the good news now, and we need something that unites the fan base, I suppose.
We need a Ron Howard announcement. You know what I mean? Because when Ron Howard came in for Solo, it was like it was a surprise, but also a no-brainer to get a legendary director like him to come in and write and direct the movie. And again, Solo is one of my favorite Star Wars movies. I think it's great. I think what he did with it was really good. So yeah, maybe bringing in somebody who, again, like it's either or. I'm for either or, but yeah, the safe bet would be to bring in Aaron Sorkin. I'm just joking. No, but like Kasdan,
Wow.
Kasdan was great. His son also, Jake Kasdan, who wrote Solo with his dad. I think would be really great as well. But yeah, so that's where we are now, is trying to figure out what's going to happen with this Rey movie. The director's still on board. She's still excited for the movie. And we'll just got to wait and see. And like you said, a lot of people look at Disney and Star Wars and they're like, I don't know. Fincher said, I don't know. Nolan said, I don't know. I'm not going to do that. Who else said no? Everybody. I think everybody said no. Brad. Don't get me started on Brad Bird.
In the end, we don't care who it is, as long as it's good, right? I mean, as long as it's
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it executes and it gives us, I think, what every fan is asking for.
Exactly.
There's a formula. Star Wars is a genre, so I keep on saying it. I keep on telling people there needs to be maybe a position if one doesn't exist at Lucasfilm, there has to be someone there that has their finger on the pulse of the fandom.
Yes.
What do the fans truly want? There's like dozens of stories where I think they can make billions of dollars if they just greenlight right now. I mean, Knights of the Republic, the old Republic, Darth Bane, Darth Revan. I mean, it goes all
these old
on and on and
stories
on.
too. I mean, they look so cool. I mean, we got some taste of that in some of the Clone Wars and things like that, and I was like, oh my god, just put this.
Yeah, just make this into a movie.
Just make this into a movie. I want to see it.
Yeah, awesome. Hello.
How's it going?
Thank you for joining us.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
No, you're fine. No, you're good. You're all good. You're all good. But
I was actually agreeing with you because there's also the Rogue. I was also agreeing because there's also the Rogue Squadron novels from the expanded universe.
Yes.
You can actually convert those over to Disney, make it to where it happens after Return of the Jedi instead of like, it all happens at Return of the Jedi. Make it to where all that happens, and you can introduce Grand Horn. You can get Wedge Antilles in there as an older commander, et cetera, et cetera. That would be so much fun. And you can bring back the original Wedge character, which will please the fandom.
Oh yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Did you hear that, Lucasfilm? Someone just preached.
Someone just
preached at our booth.
Thank you so much.
Right on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Why didn't we get his name? He just left.
Greg, thank you.
Greg, yeah, we're gonna say it was Greg. But yeah, there's so many great projects that Lucasfilm could do, and we were talking to somebody else here the other day, or yes, was it today? And he said something to the effect of, it's so crazy that Lucasfilm hired and gets these legacy characters and these shows, but they always end up making it about somebody else, kind of. Like, they bring the audience in for this character, but then it's always about, like, for example, Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi's, it was great, but there was Reva? I forgot her name already. Reva was kind of the main focus of it. She had the story arc and everything, and it was kind of...
And then you had little Leia, too, that kind of, like, shifted focus away from Kenobi.
I was okay with the little Leia bit.
Yeah, we were okay with it, but I think when they announced Obi-Wan Kenobi series, we want to see Kenobi in the desert, in the cave, in the hovel, PTSD, nightmares, dreaming about his time with him and Anakin. They touched on that. We saw like a younger Obi-Wan and Anakin. They did a little bit of that, but they only gave us like a little tiny taste of it, where they could have did that like every episode.
That's true.
Give us that relationship building between Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Do you think we're getting a Kenobi season 2? Because I feel like
we're gonna. if we're not going to get a season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, we're going to get a variation of it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, all the vibes, all like our
I feel
4
like
senses are
Ewan is
tingling.
saying it, and I think he's telling us without telling us.
Right, exactly. Yes.
Which reminds me, Amon and Elizabeth Winstead were just on stage. We got to see them.
Yeah.
And somebody from the crowd asked them, will the crew of Rebels ever be together? They looked at each other for like 3 seconds, and you could tell that they were both like,
They were like, can you rephrase
do
the
we
question?
answer this
Do we
question?
want this?
Do
They
we-
said, do we want them to?
Yeah. And they were
They
like,
crazy, yeah.
and they were like, yeah. But the way they looked at each other when the question was asked,
The look.
the look.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
like, oh, we know what's happening, but not. But Matt says someone who wants to be a writer and a lifelong Star Wars fan writing a Star Wars story would be exciting. Yeah, it would be insanely exciting and insanely terrifying. And even the great Christopher Nolan he even said it would be terrifying to direct a Star Wars movie.
So yeah, that's an awesome like point you made, Matt, that you brought that type of question up, because I always think back to 2015 when Star Wars was about to come back. I couldn't imagine being in the shoes of J.J. Abrams. We all know he's a fan, how like nervous and pressurized that job was to bring back Star Wars, and it had to be a hit. The Force Awakens was a hit. It set up everything, which was a great start-off movie. But just the amount of pressure, I would think when I would go to bed at night, I would think about, okay, how much pressure could my body take? How much pressure could my mind take? Could I possibly do something and execute something with the enormity of Star Wars on my shoulders? I don't think I could, man. So that's why I give J.J. Abrams like massive props. But after The Last Jedi, after they went like so obscure from what I thought they were going to do, I think the pressure's off, man. I think any newcomer, any director that's been established, I don't think they have as much pressure anymore. It's what they have now is the opportunity to kind of pull back and bring back fandom. They can unify fandom, I think, and they can bring back kind of the tradition and the nostalgia. If they do it, of course, it's all execution dependent. But I think that it's prime. The time is right for someone to do that. And I mean, I'm going to be telling people. I said this on the podcast. There's going to be someone that maybe swoops in. I mean, you think about like a Jon Favreau. Super fan.
His name.
A fan. He's already in Star Wars though,
Yeah.
and who
But
knows
think
like
about how
what
highly
his
people regard him now. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's like,
But yes, oh yeah, I got you. But somebody like Favreau, super fan, swoops in, and we're just like, oh my gosh, Star Wars.
And of course, Favreau doesn't know it all. He's made such a great team with Dave Filoni, with the Mandalorian, with Ahsoka, that I mean, Mandalorian Grogu, I'm pretty sure it's going to make $1 billion.
It's going to make $1 billion.
I think they're going to do their thing. It's going to be great. But then, what about the Rey movie? What about this
James
Mangold.
Mangold,
the First Jedi movie? I mean, how's that going to play
you're
out?
saying in one of these next movies, though, that somebody has that chance to do that. We have somebody.
There's a
right now
chance,
that
but I
you're
think the
thinking
chance
of,
is
maybe,
low.
or no?
I think the chance is low. I mean, with the Rey movie, I mean, you
What about
have to.
Mangold?
You're going to have to bring back John Boyega. You're going to have to make him a Jedi.
That's a layup.
I mean,
right there,
Right.
That's a slam
That's a slam
dunk.
dunk.
That is
Yeah.
a slam.
Like we say,
Right. Alley-oop to-
Bring it, John Boyega back as a Jedi would be great. So if you hear that, guys, we have a spinner. We had a lot of prizes, but they're already all gone. But people like to still spin it around.
Yeah, we lost all the prizes in a day and a half. All gone.
You should let her know that we don't have any more prizes. Unfortunately,
Would you like me to let her know that way? Because I don't work for the podcast.
What's that?
yeah, she's looking for a
I can let her
prize.
know because then she'll get mad at me. And
Sorry, guys.
Anything on the table there is free. We actually ran out of the prizes for the wheel. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. But so the James Mangold movie, I have a lot of faith in that because he's a great director. He's every movie. I never saw Night and Day, which was the Tom Cruise.
Yeah, James
movie,
Mangold is a terrific director.
but James Mangold is a great director.
I
Right.
like the premise of being like 25. Okay, just take it. I won't have any I won't be thinking of Leia. I won't be thinking of Luke. Or Han Solo.
No.
25. Do it. It's new. I have no ties.
The
to
birth of the Jedi.
I want to see that.
And his analogy was like what the Ten Commandments, something like that.
Right.
Just this epic story.
Yes.
And he said not too long ago that he's thinking production will begin sometime next year for his movie. And speaking of productions, I read that Mandalorian Grogu has wrapped principal photography. So that's great, meaning that they're going to start editing the movie, meaning that next year is probably going to be reshoots, and then they have a whole year of post-production, which, of course, you do that with Star Wars. You can have a big, long post-production thing. But yeah, this standalone Rey movie is looking like it's going to be pushed back, looking like we're probably going to have to go back a year maybe. Oh well.
Which one are you guys most looking forward to of the slate that's coming up?
I want to see what James Mangold does with that story, because that's such a unique.
It's such an unknown.
Yeah, it's an unknown timeline in Star Wars. Whereas, Mandalorian and Grogu, we all know it's leading up to Force Awakens. Rey's story, I am curious about it, but I already know the character Rey, and I already kind of in my mind think I know what's going to happen. But with the early days of the Jedi, I have no idea. I have no idea what to expect with that movie. So that's what I'm most looking forward to.
I have this image in my head of a caveman basically looking at the Force. And
That dude, honestly, if they did a whole, did you ever see There Will Be Blood, the movie There Will Be Blood? Oh, so the first the Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yes, I have.
So the first 15, 20 minutes of that movie is him prospecting.
About milkshakes,
It's about milkshakes.
Yeah.
So the whole first 20, 15 minutes is him prospecting.
My son and partner.
No sound, no dialogue, just him doing his thing.
Yes.
If they did a whole 20 minutes of somebody in a cave looking for a kyber crystal,
Daniel
and
Day-Lewis would be great.
hey man, bring Daniel Day-Lewis back to be the first Jedi. He's the only one worthy.
That would work, man. That would work.
Yeah,
That would, and then you know what? Then we have an Oscar winner. Then we have an Oscar nominated acting performance in Star Wars, which we haven't seen since Alec Guinness. Do you know that, by the way? Alec Guinness is the only actor in Star Wars who's ever been nominated for an Oscar.
That's kind of insane.
But rumor had it they were pushing for Mark Hamill for The Last Jedi, but that did not happen. But anyways, so that was some of the news that broke. So today,
I got a question. Hold up.
Okay, what you got?
So when you think about the first Jedi movie, the
boy.
James Mangold movie, of course, he's a great director. He's proven himself time after time again.
Yes.
But to me, when I think about that movie, it feels like they're not going to have lightsabers.
No.
We're not going to see any lightsabers.
No.
So it's like when there's a big Star Wars movie that's in a drop, I want to see lightsabers, man.
And you also want to see space battles. You want to see the things that make Star Wars Star Wars. So it's like, what is it going to be? Is the ending of the movie going to be the first lightsaber being built? You know what I mean? Then are we going to see a space battle?
He's going to create Hu Yang at that.
That could happen.
Right. I don't know.
How old is Hu Yang? 10,000 years? 20,000 years?
If Colin was here, he would know.
If you're in the chat, answer.
Yeah, if you're in the chat,
Answer
let
that
us know
question.
how. Okay, I'm okay with pushbacks as long as we. So Darth Beard just mentioned nothing worse than. Okay, so yeah, if you look on the screen, I'm okay with pushbacks as long as we end up with a good movie. Nothing worse than pushing out a bad movie just to me to release. I'd rather have Mangold's movie before Rey. Honestly, Darth Beard, I think that's what's going to happen. Rumor had it, I think. So one of the Marvel movies might sneak into that release
That time
date.
slot, yeah.
Yeah, so Disney's like, we're going to have a movie in Christmas of 2026. But yeah, I agree with you. I'd rather they delay and then push out a great movie instead of just rushing it to get that release date,
yes.
which kind of is what happened with Force Awakens. They were given that 2015 date. Harrison Ford broke his leg, and they were like, you still got to release this movie by 2015, and that's what we got. And Force Awakens is great. Force Awakens is a great movie. So yeah, we're just gonna wait and see what happens. And I'm pretty sure if this movie is happening, we're gonna be finding out next year, before the end of the year. I think that there's a new writer for the Rey film.
I think I'm most now excited. Unfortunately, David put that in my head about there being no lightsabers in this, and that really made me scared. But I want to see that trailer. I think more than anything. That's going to be. I think an exceptional trailer.
It's going to be epic, and it's going to be unlike any Star Wars movie we've ever seen. The feel of that movie is going to be so unique,
different and weird.
And
that could be what unites us again. I hope.
We'll
The Mando Grogu, I think, is going to be great no matter what.
Yeah, there's a lot of hope on that movie, and because I think it's Grogu. Grogu's going to be in the movie, and Grogu, you cannot miss with Grogu. Look at her; she has a chopper backpack. Sorry, some little girl has a chopper backpack. It's really cool. Switching gears. So yesterday, Josh Brolin was here at Spacecon,
Right.
and he spoke about his he just completed production of Knives Out 3, which don't ever say that to Ryan Johnson. He hates it that they had to put that subtitle for the movies. But he gave Ryan Johnson a lot of praise. And a lot of people were like, okay, clapping.
And he smokes cigars on set.
Yeah,
That's
right.
interesting.
In the morning, Ryan Johnson's out there smoking a cigar before set. Go figure. But yeah, apparently he called Ryan Johnson. I don't know if he said a genius, but he said it was a very smart writer, very smart director, and a director that. And we said it before. A lot of people want to work with him because
I was just thinking that too. People that have worked with him,
he delivers
seem to love him, yeah.
And as we all know, when it came for The Last Jedi, he completed the movie by early November. Was it like early November? The Last Jedi was. It was. I remember.
It was way. Ahead
The Last Jedi. He put out. They asked him about it. Are you in post production? And he was like, "Oh, it's done." He's like, "It is 100% complete," and which is why I think Lucasfilm and Disney was like, "Give him more movies," and we'll see. But I think after Knives Out 3, which again, don't say that to him. I think we're gonna get a Star Wars announcement from him. Just saying. I think we're gonna get something.
That would be interesting to see the reaction.
I was gonna say I'm gonna get on Twitter.
I think honestly, I think a lot of people would just want to see what he has. By that original
course,
story he has.
This goes way back in time to when they of course 2017 when they kind of basically gifted him, or 2016.
No, it was 2017. It was 2017. It was right around when the movie was coming out.
We were told that he was going to do a trilogy, but all brand new characters, all brand new planets, brand new environments from scratch. And once he created his production company, he started Knives Out. I was like, there's no way he's going to do Star Wars anytime soon, because it takes so much. You look at what Peter Jackson did with Lord of the Rings. It took years and years of prep to create an established world. I thought there was like no way he was going to do it. Of course, it didn't happen. But Ryan Johnson with new characters, his own story, has nothing to do with the Skywalkers, has nothing to do with the Empire. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what he does. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Yeah, me neither.
And once I think the fandom kind of gets wind of that, I think they'll be okay. And I think once that first movie hits, that's going to be the judgment.
And honestly, and I don't want to, because I like Ryan Johnson, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good movie. Like he makes great films. And
right. It's almost like he's at the advantage because he's already done The Last Jedi. That was what it was, and now he's got a clean slate. If it has nothing to do with anything outside of like
his own story,
being the Force and kyber crystals, and good versus evil, light versus dark, the traditional stuff. I think he has an actual advantage, to tell you the truth. So.
Oh yeah, and he's great. His writing, it's great. So I think
also I want to say that he's one of those directors that all these major actors want to collect.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
it's a short list. It's like James Mangold, Ryan Johnson, Spielberg, Tarantino, Chris Nolan, those types of guys, and Ryan Johnson is on that list.
Yes, he is.
You just looked at the cast of Knives Out.
A Chris Nolan Star Wars movie. I think that would be fun. I think.
I honestly
he wants to do.
Well, no, he's already he said no to Force Awakens because he was scared of it, and makes sense. And plus, Nolan likes his style. Nolan has his style that he likes to do, and
I was real confused during Tenet. I
was a little confused during Tenet as well, but
it makes an equally confusing Star Wars movie. I'm not sure.
I think it'd be pretty cool though. but yeah, so we'll see what happens. And Ryan Johnson's third mystery movie from Netflix.
So apparently, I'll talk a little bit about that. I've heard some rumblings about it. It sounds like it's going to be a 1920s period piece about vampires, starring Matt Damon. Yeah.
Wait, Nolan's movie. No, you're talking
okay.
You're talking about Nolan's movie?
Yeah, Nolan's movie.
Okay, talk about Nolan's movie. Okay, wait, it's going to be a 1920s vampire movie?
1920s period piece vampire movie with Matt Damon and Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. That sounds amazing.
That's like wild.
That sounds like the greatest movie.
Yeah.
Flappers and.
Well, I mean, it's not too far fetched for Nolan because he did a movie based in the early 1900s about magicians, The Prestige, which some people think that's his best movie, and I think it's one of his best movies he's ever made. And so I don't see that.
Tom Holland's in that movie.
Yeah, Tom Holland's gonna be in the new one. Yeah.
I love that for Tom Holland.
So I like that for Tom Holland too. But anyways, back to Star Wars. I'm just joking. Back to Deadpool. Today we got to see Amon and Mary Elizabeth Winstead on stage, and I got to meet them before they came on stage. I got to go with them to go and we had a gift for him, and I was just standing off to the side, kind of nervous, and I was like, I don't know what to say to him, and he looked at me and he just goes, "Hey, we could be cousins," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so funny!"
Because now that you've told me that, I can't stop looking
So we've told James in the past you need to cosplay
Yeah.
as Ezra. Just get the blue contacts, get that in, get the like wardrobe down.
After seeing him in person, I was like, yeah, I think I could really he's tall. He's a lot taller than me, but yeah, we joked about that. He gave me a hug, and I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now. This is ridiculous. And he was very nice guy. And there was a little backstage. I don't want to tell the story, but like they were gonna do something, but he was like, no, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you're talking about.
How are you?
Good. Oh man, yeah. Hello everyone on the live stream. What's up? Yes, yeah. I just got done wearing Chewy. It was nuts. It was fun. I might wear it again. Maybe.
For Hayden and Rosario,
Yeah, maybe.
possibly.
I have to talk to Ted and stuff, but yeah, maybe.
How long did it take you to?
Probably takes me about, on a good day, 20. On a hot sweaty day here, probably about 20 to 30. Because it's a lot. It really is a lot.
You're already a tall guy, and you become like about a foot taller.
Dude, I think it's so funny when like I put it on and like I walked up to Zach and I was just like, because of Zach's a tall dude, so
I saw Zach earlier, and I was like, "Have you seen Colin?" Then I took a giant Chewbacca hair off of Zach, and I was like, "Yeah, you can."
yeah, yep, it's gonna happen. That's awesome.
We're getting a picture for y'all right now.
Yeah. Do we have any listeners that are currently here at the con? Or? No.
Oh yeah.
Guys,
And talk to us. They tell us what they're doing. We had, I remember her name, Becky. She listens to the podcast, I think, when she drives to work. And she's like, yeah, I listen to you guys all the time. And she's like, where's James at? Where's Colin at? They weren't at the booth at the time, but I was like, yeah, they'll be around. So this is the Wookiee picture that I took with Colin. And of course, it's Chewbacca. But yeah, it's an incredible thing when you see it in person.
Well, okay, wait. Is that his nose, or is that the inside of the mouth that looks like Chewbacca?
I think that is not his nose.
Oh,
If I
okay.
can clear the screen here.
Yeah, I was gonna say what's going on.
the great thing about Colin in that outfit too is that I'm talking to him, and he will not break character. He will just continually talk to me as Chewbacca with noises, and it actually makes a lot of sense.
It's pretty
He
funny.
does a good job.
Yeah, it's a great Chewbacca outfit, as y'all can see.
Is that his name?
Yeah, I was like, is that his nose? But yeah, he gets a lot of people. A lot of people come up to him and want to take pictures. He's taken so many pictures. He's been like just just surrounded by people wanting to get a picture of him, and it's pretty amazing. And it was pretty funny because I surprised him. If you follow us on Facebook, you'll see the video that David took of me surprising Colin, and Colin was in the costume of Chewbacca when he saw me, and he was so happy to see me, and it was great. And yes, as y'all can see, I am here. I did make the trip and to be honest, we were already planning this. I'd already made my decision to come out here about a month ago. And
Yeah.
so, but we just kept it a secret. And, but yeah, it's so great to be here. It's so
But
great to be back.
It goes back years ago when we fooled you, when Colin flew out, and I was telling James that, hey, we're going to have a special guest. He is in the 501st. And James is like, is he cool? I mean, is he okay? He's coming over to my house.
Yeah,
I
that was the thing. He was
like,
coming over to my
James,
house.
you let me in your house when I was like a total stranger. So he's like, yeah, okay. I was like, well, I trust you. And of course, it's Colin. Colin shows up. And I think it was like around my birthday, maybe.
Then maybe, yeah.
So yeah, we
It
do
was
the
a great
podcast for the
surprise.
very first time in person, all three of us.
It was so
And
great.
it was wonderful. So we were able to pay back Colin, and surprise him with James, not knowing that James was going to be there. So yeah, we have the video. Maybe I can load it up here for everyone to see.
Maybe it looked like we were running out of storage because we have a lot of stuff on here that we like to
Yeah,
show y'all.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you follow us on Facebook, you'll see the video. It was so great. It was so fun. And but yeah, it's really great to be here. It's really great and it was really crowded here, and it looks like this is going to be a success for San Antonio for Spacecon. So I'm hoping this is going to happen again next year. And so right now, David, if you look at David, he's looking intently at his screen trying to find this video.
It's like one of those military homecoming videos, where and it's surprised the little kid.
Yes.
And, it's exactly like that.
Exactly like that. And but it was pretty great. It was really great. And I got to see Ahmed Best. I didn't get to meet him, but I got to see him pretty close. Big dude. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
And what else? Very friendly. From what I could see, he was a very friendly guy. And Matt, who had a really long line was Matthew Wood.
He
Really?
was in the line for 2 hours.
He had
Oh my
a
God.
hell of a line. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, but it was one of those things because Colin and I noticed, and then everyone in line was like, "Oh my, whose line is that?" We're like, "That's Matthew Wood," and they were just blown away by that was him. Is it too big? Oh, don't worry about it.
MP4.
But yeah, Matthew Wood's line was really long, and
Cool. I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of random.
but it also makes sense because he is the new Ben Burt. You know what I mean? He's done more for Star
Right.
Wars than probably Ben Burt has at this point. Plus, he's the voice of General Grievous. He's also Biv Fortuna, the
Does
greatest.
he do a lot of cons or
I think now he is. I don't think he was doing a lot
He
of
was
cons.
in London.
Oh, he was in London?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I walked by his booth and no one was there. So I was like, but then again, no one's at Mads Mikkelsen's, and I just walked up to him. And
But that
talked to
blows
him.
me away that
That's
no one
weird,
was
right?
in London,
It's weird.
right? In London. Everybody, you would think. Anyways, I don't want to get into that. But yeah, whatchamacallit? Rosario Dawson, Ewan McGregor, and Hayden Christensen are actually in a whole other building by themselves because
I absolutely love how they did that.
and it makes sense because there was a long line of people here to get here today. And then when David and I went to go get lunch earlier, the line was still out the door. It's crazy. And that's a big draw. And a lot of people are here for Hayden Christensen. And yeah.
To meet him, and he's with his. It was adorable. He was with his mother and his daughter.
Oh,
and
nice.
They were all just up there, and he was letting everybody interact with everybody.
Oh, that's so great.
To I said to his mother, "You must be so proud," and she was like, "I am." Yeah.
That's so great. Yeah. And the love he gets now, it's so great. And also, yeah, Ahmed Best's line, his line was massive. And it was so great. And we were just like, I'm so happy he's getting that love that he's he's been getting here. And I just saw a stormtrooper in a kilt. That's the second stormtrooper in a kilt I've ever seen in my life. Isn't that funny? That's great.
That's
I love it. The first one I saw was
Speaking of tall boy.
Again.
which I might be getting one here later. But yeah, if you're listening to us now tonight at 8:15, there's going to be a panel for Rosario Dawson and Hayden Christensen. They're both going to be on stage, and it's going to be pretty big. And it's kind of slowing down now, but we all know within the next what time is it? Within the next hour, it's going to get insane
I feel like
in
that's the
here.
only reason people are so weird.
Yeah, I feel like more people are going to start showing up,
Yeah.
and but yeah, it's going to get kind of crazy here, and it's really cool. It's really cool to see the fans here, not just Star Wars but Star Trek. Two friends of mine that I went to high school. I didn't tell you, the two friends I went to high school with are huge Star Trek fans. I've known them since high school. It's junior high. They're here. I saw them,
That's cool.
and they're Star Trek attire, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. And they were like, of course you were gonna. They're like, you were gonna be here too, and I was like, yeah, we're a
This
bunch of
does
nerds.
feel like a Star Wars con, though. I almost completely forgot up until you said that there was even anything Star Trek here.
Well, I won't lie. Let me set the scene for you. I get here this morning. Mind you, it took me an hour to park because it was crazy to get in. But I walk in, and William Shatner is on stage. The William Shatner was right there on stage. And I'm just like, oh, my. I'm not even a Trekkie, and that's a huge deal that it was William
He's
Shatner.
90 years old.
And
He's like 93.
he's
93?
he's over 90. And you know what?
And he's been to space, for real.
He tells the funniest story of him going to space. It's just amazing.
He's like William Shatner. Like,
And the other interesting thing is he didn't have a moderator. It was just him by himself on stage just talking.
you know why? Because it's William Shatner. You know, I'm just gonna keep saying that over and over again. Like,
it's a singular chair.
just it's crazy. And but yeah, it was really cool. And then there was a few other Star Trek panels, and I didn't see anybody from Star Trek. Then again, I don't watch Star Trek, but it's really nice. It's really cool. If all different fandoms are here. We've seen a lot of different cosplays walk by, and it's like that's great. That's really cool. A lot of Star Wars, of course, but yeah, it's been a really really great time here.
Cosplays you guys have seen today that you really loved,
Oh, besides yours?
besides mine.
Oh,
There was
okay.
not a question about
There's
me.
this
It
really
was-
cool ATST cosplay.
Yeah, we have an ATS.
Where there was a really generous patron of ours who places the top cockpit on his head and walks backwards to simulate the walking
if you guys
of the
meet that
ATST.
guy, will you tell him thank you for all your commitments?
Yeah, I think he's in the actual the role there past the screen where the banner where I think his name's about to come up here. I think it's not Devin McCaffrey. It's not
Drew
Peters.
That's Zach
Not
Netzel.
Zach Netzel, which we've seen at the con. It's not Monka. He's not here. It's that guy, Adam Haber. Right there. So,
there he is.
Yeah.
But
pretty cool guy. We actually had dinner with him, and he brought out some stuff that was like very interesting that he so generously decided to share with us inside the restaurant. I don't know if we can talk about it.
Yeah, go for it.
So
just don't give out my address or anything.
So yes, this is Adam Haber here. He is our Patreon member, friend of the podcast, and he had the actual screen used prop of Darth Maul's double-sided lightsaber.
Beautiful.
James wasn't there.
I wasn't there, but I saw the picture.
He's seen pictures. He has it in a rifle case, which is super logical to me. I'm glad he went with that move. But he also had, I think more interesting to me, Darth Maul's cool and everything, but he also has the screen used Leku from Shakti, and he had it in a baseball bat container. Pulls it out, and you can actually feel like the foam latexness of it. And it felt like organic material.
It feels like eerily like what you would think.
What it would feel like,
Everyone kind of like wants to like touch it. They're like, does this feel like what I think it will?
Yeah, it does. Everyone's reaction was like, "Oh my god!" It was awesome. I love that.
A hilarious photo of like I think Colin looking at it. He's like,
I do have it somewhere.
It wasn't the thing that I spent tons of money on. The Darth Maul thing that impressed everybody was the other thing that I bought.
Oh my gosh, Crystal is in the house. Crystal Kyber. Go follow her on Instagram, please. Go follow her on YouTube as well. Subscribe to her. She's amazing.
I told James to invite you. I don't know what happened.
What? Well, you know, it's funny. She invited us to LA Comic Con. Yeah,
I didn't get the invite.
Well, next year.
Okay.
But no, she killed it at LA Comic Con. She was on a panel for Rebels. She's great. I just saw her this week. We got to work on set. We got to work in the Old West, and she's awesome. So yeah, find her on YouTube. Find her on Instagram. She's great. And 2025. So. Yeah, I think LA Comic Con is kind of in the future for us, and we're going to be looking into that.
A place to stay for free, so.
And he has a place to stay for free, which is at your place, Crystal. Just like I'm just joking.
Oh, nice.
Just joking. But so great to see you here, Crystal, and great to see you this week. But yeah, it's what were we talking about? Star Wars.
I think we were talking about Star Wars.
But yeah, the fact that I saw the picture of the Ray Park screen used. Lightsaber, and I was so jealous.
So the cool thing about it too, and I've talked to Ray Park about this as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just name drops now. It's the thing about it. It's not like the one he had in the hallway. It's not like the one where he like was like boom boom. It's the one where like he's actually fighting with it.
Oh yeah.
And so the red dots on it are like painted on and smoothed up because Ray was like, I can't twirl this thing when it's those huge buttons are on it. I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
That's so cool.
All kinds of damage all over it.
That is so cool.
Just imagine like Ewan hitting his knuckles with it, and
Oh, they hit a lot of
hit knuckles.
There's a great behind the scenes of Revenge of the Sith where Ewan and Hayden are fighting, and you just see Ewan go like this, and Hayden throws the lightsaber, and he's like, "Did I get your finger?" And it's like, oh, I can't even imagine how many times. Yeah, But yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. You got that lightsaber. I wish I had a screen accurate or screen used. Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate that.
So also, there's another co-host of the Star Wars Stuff podcast walking around here. It is Zach.
Yeah, Zach.
And he was actually next to us a while ago. I don't know if he's camera shy or what, but he is having the time of his life here because today he was able to meet Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen, Rosario Dawson, Matt Wood, Ahmed Best. Who else did he meet?
You said Rosario?
You said Rosario.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
All in one day. He's 23 years old, met all those celebrities all in one. Oh, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Iman Esfandi. He met all those people today, which is incredible.
MVP of the con so far. I'm going to say it's going to be Zach. That kid looks like a kid.
Yeah, and we have photographic evidence of Zach's one of his adventures. It's right here.
Okay, so these lightsabers that he has, I wish he was here to describe this. These are the actual lightsabers he had as a kid when he and his brother would play, when they would, play, Anakin and Obi-Wan to do their lightsaber battles. And so he was so happy to bring these lightsabers to the con and let, Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor hold them. And look at his face. He's so happy in this picture. It's so great. And he came back and he was like holding the lightsabers. He was like, I can't believe they actually held these. Like, he was so happy that they held the picture.
So if you're just like kind of glancing at this picture, you like look away. You kind of think maybe like I did that Ewan and Hayden are sitting in chairs. No, Zach is really that tall. Zach is 6'6".
Yeah, he is tall.
They're standing upright. So yeah, it's kind of wild. Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's a tall guy. But yeah, he was really happy with that picture. We were all happy for him as well. And yeah, he's been having a great time, and I don't know where he went. Like I said, he was here, and I thought he was going to say hello, but then he just took off running. We're like,
I think he went off on a secret mission, actually.
That I know.
I think I know what the secret is.
I think I know what one of the secret missions is too.
Just in case someone's watching.
Yeah, we can't let anybody know.
Yeah.
But I did not say hi to Mary Elizabeth Winstead, even though she was like 2 feet in front of me. I think I was.
There was a lot of people in that green room.
I was honestly a little shy when she walked in because she's. I've seen her for so many years in movies and everything. It was kind of a shock. It was kind of, like starstruck, just being like, oh my gosh.
The thing that struck me, that was the first time I saw her like in person. She was quite tall.
She's tall.
I didn't think she was as tall as she is.
She is tall. Well, I mean, I saw her in, of course, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. She's next to some people.
Like
she's
Michael
pretty.
Cera.
Yeah, she's up there.
I don't think Michael Cera's that tall, though.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
But she has a presence to her, and yeah, when she walked in, I was just like, I can't even say hi to her.
Her first con, right?
I believe. Is it her first con?
This is her first con.
I think participating in it, yes, because she always flies with Ewan everywhere. I believe.
She's never signed autographs and all that stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. I was a little nervous, like when we were back there, that Ewan would walk back there too, and I would just.
I didn't even think of that.
No, I wasn't hoping. I was like terrified because I thought like they would just come in and tell us, "Get out, everyone leave," and then we would have to leave, and then we'd be like, "Why is that?" Like, because Ewan wanted to see it. We're like, "Oh my gosh!" But yeah, she walked in, and then it was really cool.
So we're talking about the Iman Esfandi, Mary Elizabeth Winstead panel. We were in the green room ready to receive them, and it was me and Colin back there. Colin looked like this. He was wearing his full-on Chewbacca, and he greeted them as Chewbacca. Mary Elizabeth Winstead had like the greatest reaction. She was so thrilled that she had Chewbacca in her green room. And then Iman Esfandi walked in, and he was like totally hyped. Such great attitudes, tons of enthusiasm. I'm happy those people are like that. That's the great thing I think about all these people that get hired by Star Wars recently. And I don't know about the past because I've never met the people from the past, but everyone that I've met in person seems genuinely thrilled and motivated to be at conventions and Star Wars Celebration, and it's such a great thing, man.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Just like us. I mean, we love being here. We love getting together. I mean, we're celebrating Star Wars essentially. It's not a celebration. It's like a celebration.
It feels like a celebration. Yeah.
So, and we have our own booth. We have our own place to stay. And of course, Ted, kind of Uncity Geekcast, he's moderating a bunch of panels, and it's a wonderful thing, man. It's quite emotional.
Do you think in the next hour we might meet somebody?
Yeah, I mean, spoiler alert, we might be hanging out with Hayden and Rosario. So
this might actually happen, and if it
maybe.
does, I might be crying, all Halloweened out.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be something else to meet them, and we'll let you know right away if that happens. We'll probably do a secret podcast. No, we'll probably post it online. Be like, we just met them. But yeah, backstage, just seeing them back there, and I don't want to. In the green room, yeah. I don't want to say what happened with Iman. It was really funny because they wanted him to do something, and he was like, I'm good. And I don't want to say what it was because it was a little embarrassing.
We got some really cool behind-the-scenes info about him and panels, and it was interesting, man.
Yeah.
And we're working with Legion Sabers. Legion Sabers, if you don't know about them, Colin and Hunter did a podcast with them a couple months back, and I finally got to see a Legion Saber up close and personal. It's the greatest lightsaber.
Let me go get one.
Let me go get one in my hand. And yeah, James is about to go and get one, and it's worth the money, guys. I mean, it's on the expensive side, but it is totally worth the money. I mean, for me, going back to being like at the beginning of like our celebration. So he's bringing the saber actually that I'm about to talk about, the Luke Skywalker green saber from Return of the Jedi. This thing is incredible. And if you look at the top section here, it's very thin at the top. All the Disney sabers are like thick. You have to replace the attachment to put the blade in. This one, no, you can put the blade in with this attach. You don't pull this apart at all. It stays. It's one piece. It's got a system board in it where you can change the colors. There's different sounds if you want to be that person. If you want to sound like you're playing Mario Kart and swinging a lightsaber, this is a saber for you. But aside that, you can change all the colors, different sound effects from the films, from the TV shows. It's an awesome saber. So check out Legion Sabers wherever you can. I believe it's legionsabers.com. Check them out.
And I've been just going up to them and just holding this lightsaber like throughout the day because it's beautiful. And the video, I'm looking at the video, it's not doing it justice at how kind of beautiful this thing. Like, what do you think? Like this thing is
10 out of 10. I mean, like just like the ones he was talking about, where it's that giant hulking attachment. Yeah. It looks horrible. This looks.
It feels like the real thing.
Yeah. Here.
I mean,
yeah,
look at this. Look at that. Look at that.
Can I? No, I cannot. Right.
Hold it. There you go.
Yes.
It's got a weight to it.
It does have a good weight to it.
That feels like a lightsaber.
Like what a lightsaber would feel.
Yep.
Like,
right.
What it should feel like.
Yeah. So he has Ezra's. He has the Ahsoka's.
I think they got everyone, guys.
He has the Anakin's. He has
I
a
think
weathered.
James, what you're talking about is what they got here at the con. But online, they got
online.
everything.
Oh, yeah. They have everything online.
Everything and more. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm hoping for is he sees me holding this for. He's going to be like, you know what, James? You could have this. But no, I'm just kidding. But no, these things are beautiful. They are great. And yeah, I just keep coming up to this thing and holding it because it's so cool. This is my favorite one. And yeah, look at that. Beautiful.
Yes. Legion Sabers.
Legionsabers.com. Like he said, a little pricey, but you're getting a pretty much screen
it's
accurate.
Basically a saber for life, really.
Yeah.
I think because even if something happens with like the system board or the batteries, you still have the hardware.
I think he said there's a warranty, like a lifetime warranty.
Oh, okay.
Like there's a crazy warranty on these things that they will help you out and everything.
Nice. Yeah.
And
super great guys. We met Izzy.
Yeah, maybe. don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Yeah, don't quote the Star Wars Stuff podcast.
Maybe
on
if
that
you throw our name out there, maybe they can work with you. But
use my code. You'll get nothing at all.
But yeah, this thing.
So you can program that to like do whatever sounds you want it to do.
I think so. I don't know. Oh, that was Rey's lightsaber right there. That was her sound.
Maybe.
But yeah, and apparently there's also a setting on here where it sounds like a pod racer. So when you spin it, it makes the engine sound of a pod racer. And Colin was doing that for me earlier, and I was like, "That's pretty awesome." And
that's one of my favorite sounds.
Yeah,
you could do the Boba Fett. What's it called? The seismic charge. When you turn it on.
I'm surprised they have it. I'm pretty sure it's in one of the sabers.
Hey, put it
It's
on
got to
here.
be.
I'm just kidding. Just tell them.
One of the iconic sounds.
You should put it on there.
Yeah.
I'm actually just going to hold this now for the rest of the podcast. So that's happening.
Something about squatters' rights. If you just keep holding it, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure after a while it's going to be mine.
Squatters' rights.
But yeah, but this is great. It's such a great time. This is so much fun. I'm so glad to be here. And I know it was iffy if I was going to be here, but then David and I were like, let's do it. Let's do this thing. And I'm so glad because this is so much fun. And like I said, this is the first time for Spacecon. It looks like it's a hit. It'll probably going to happen again next year. Just saying, pretty good chance it's going to happen again.
It's going to be bigger and better. I think they're.
I wonder who they could get.
I'm not sure if I can announce the date because I don't think it's public knowledge, but it's going to happen soon. Did you already say?
No, I didn't. No, what? No, I don't even know.
Okay.
I was just surprised that you know that there's another.
Or there's going to be another Spacecon pretty soon.
So,
let me see.
Okay, so we don't know.
For a year, you're saying?
I think he's
8 months from now, I think.
Oh, do the math, everybody.
So let's
Summertime. Yeah.
don't do the math. I didn't say that.
So we had Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, and Rosario Dawson here.
Yeah.
Who could we possibly see? Mind you, we don't know, everybody. This isn't us announcing who's going to be here. This is just us kind of in our mind thinking, who would we want to be here from Star Wars?
John Favreau.
That would be, that would be crazy if John Favreau
Could
was
that
here.
work?
Like who's like you're saying like a once in a lifetime guest.
Or
That's
just
after Mandalorian Grogu, he'd be on the press tour.
Yeah.
That would still work.
that would work. Yeah,
And Filoni.
And Filoni would be that would be
The panel
huge.
would be, I mean, like the SDCC kind of thing.
No, they would probably use the Freeman Coliseum for them. I mean,
Or the Frost Bank Center.
probably. Which, now it used to be the SBC Center. Then it was AT&T Center. Now it's the Frost Bank Center. That's where the Spurs play, which I think there's a game happening right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, I would want to see Daisy Ridley here, and Pedro Pascal as well.
Oh wow.
Pedro Pascal would be.
And he's from
Nuts.
Texas, right?
He grew up in San Antonio a little bit.
He lived in San Antonio for a bit.
I think
He was
that's
born in Chile.
So just the thought that he was here in San Antonio when I was here just makes me like wonder, like, were we in the same area once or twice? And we
Did
didn't
you
even,
take his ticket for a movie?
did I take his ticket? I didn't even realize it was him. But yeah, that would be pretty big if Pedro Pascal came to this. But mind you, Pedro doesn't have to do autograph. You know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't be doing autographs or photos.
Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't have. I mean,
Daisy Ridley would not
he's
be doing
pretty
photographs.
much made at this point, and he's making millions of dollars. He's Mr. Fantastic. I mean, he's in The Last of Us. and-
Gladiator 2.
yeah, Gladiator
Dude, his
2,
face
which
is-
is getting great reviews.
Thank God.
Some people are saying the greatest movie ever, which I think is a little hyperbolic.
The four-letter word I've been hearing for all those reviews is epic.
Okay.
Everybody keeps saying epic. And man, his face is all over Hollywood right now. Almost every billboard is Gladiator 2 right now.
Please don't ruin my Gladiator. I want it to be. I love that movie. I just need the sequel to be good.
By all accounts, it sounds like it's good. So yeah, Pedro Pascal is doing really good, but it would be really cool to see him here. Be really good to see Daisy Ridley, Jon Favreau, Dave
Give
Filoni.
me Natalie Portman.
Oh, dude.
Give me Natalie Portman.
You know, there's already a lot of people flying from out of state, out of country. If they got Natalie Portman, I mean, you would have maybe 3 times that amount.
She would
Her
be
first ever con.
You would put other con. You would put Spacecon on the map as a serious contender.
And so imagine this: you have Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, and Natalie Portman on stage for a panel.
Natalie Portman on the stage.
Oh, that's huge.
The fire marshal would have to be called.
That is big. That is equal, if not bigger, than Ewan and Hayden on stage together.
I agree.
If you had Natalie Portman and Hayden Christensen on stage,
So that is essentially the big 3 for the prequels, right
Yeah.
there. That is that big 3.
yeah, the big 3. Yeah,
Do it. You heard it.
you heard. Yeah, okay, Bob. Please.
Bob. You know what? I'm gonna go tell Bob. What
Yeah. He should be coming around here soon. We gave him a cookie earlier today. He was really happy about
Light
it.
side, dark side. He
Yeah.
cracked him open and he ate it.
It was so funny the way he just looked at it. He was like, I was like, that's great. But whatchamacallit? Yeah, who else would you want to see?
I mean, Harrison Ford. Do you think would ever do
That's
that?
like the holy grail
That's
right there.
the literal holy grail.
That would be awesome.
That would be really
That
awesome.
would be really cool.
That would be really great.
Just to hear him, he probably has stories that are beyond.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For 2 hours. So.
Who for Star Trek? If they had Patrick Stewart here,
I thought they were going to get
that, and then
He's done to the cons.
yeah, he's done other
Yeah.
cons.
I thought they were going to get him for this.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart, dude. Mark Hamill.
He's gettable. He's gettable. That is a
Mark Hamill at Spacecon would be insane. And you know what? This is going to be a success, and I'm pretty sure we're going to kiss.
How wild would it be
Kitster.
to see Samuel L. Jackson?
Samuel L. Jackson.
That would be epic. He would make a lot of sense at a space con.
Have you heard him talk about like he wants to play Mace Windu again?
He is
didn't die.
adamant.
He's like,
And
he
he's
didn't
like
die.
unrelenting
Yes.
in that fact. I mean,
He's
it's like
he's walking
wow.
around. He's electrocuted, and yes, he got one arm cut off, and he's alive. It's like he's like said that.
Man, he's so great
He's
though.
not giving up.
Just get out those people. It's not that.
It'll be a flashback in the Obi-Wan season 2.
I'd be okay with a flashback, but I don't think he lived. I am adamant that Mace Windu died. I'm okay with a flashback. Do not.
Liam. Nah, he wouldn't do it.
He wouldn't do it.
No, he would never.
Apparently, Liam Neeson is retired from action movies.
Yeah,
apparently.
he said he's 72
Yeah.
now. That it's not even.
Taken 5 or whatever. No.
No, unfortunately.
Taken again.
Yeah, again, we've been taken again. No,
a new genre in Star Wars, taking films.
Heck yeah.
but yeah, I can't imagine those would be the ones that I'd want to see here next year. But we'll see. We don't know. We don't know. Yeah, but-
all those are showstoppers.
but could you imagine? This is me, Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford. Again, you'd have to call the fire marshal, and you'd have to go to probably the Frost Bank Center next door because this could not hold Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill in the same room. You'd have people from out of countries coming here to see that.
And I think, guys, from all accounts, that Spacecon in San Antonio 2024 has been a success. We're about in the third quarter
Yeah.
of the convention, and from all accounts, I mean, people are saying that people are buying stuff. The autographs are selling out. I mean, crowds are huge. The lines are long, but they're moving.
Yeah.
As opposed to a lot of other cons. It's really well ran. We hear that remark all the time that Bob Wills and crew does a really great job with Spacecon and Superhero Comic Con. So
The lines and the help that they had over the Hayden autograph lines were it's the best I've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
I had a lot of autographs that they were doing, and they were so patient, so good, very well trained. Some cons not quite as well. These people knew exactly what they were doing. They did an exceptional job.
You know who I'd want to see? I'd want to see Jake Lloyd. Jake Lloyd coming in for a con.
Pull out some heartstrings right there.
That would be the ultimate. What do you think? Not the ultimate, but it would be pretty damn
David
cool.
did not.
Yeah, David didn't look like he liked that ant. He was like,
I don't know how realistic that is, but I think the realistic one maybe would be, depending on what happens in Ahsoka season 2, because of course we all know there's going to be recasting there. Maybe have that cast up on stage and finally get to
It
see,
would be cool to see Gerard Butler.
or Liev Schreiber,
Liev Schreiber. I've heard that one a lot.
but have them with Ivana Sacco, who plays Shin Hati, Natasha Luberdizzo, who plays Sabine, have Mary Elizabeth Winstead back up there, have Iman Esfandi back up there. Have them just go like round the horn and talk about their shared experiences with both seasons of Ahsoka. I think that would be fantastic. And I don't think we've seen them all kind of quite together. It seems like one or two people.
Yeah,
are
it
always
seems like
missing at
someone's
the
always
con.
missing. Yeah.
Also, for like Star Trek people at this con too, this would be great if you love photo ops because they're doing like 6-person like.
Yeah, oh yeah, Star Trek.
ops
Yes,
right now, and I'm just like,
there. I saw a few Star Trek photo ops, and I was like, I'm not even a Star Trek fan, and that's pretty cool that you got a picture with these people, you know.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so we'll tonight's gonna be big. Like I said, we're gonna have Hayden and Rosario Dawson on stage, and that's gonna be so cool. Are you excited for that?
I'm super excited. I mean, we're moments away. It's wild. We are here. Let's see. I'm going to pick up the camera and just kind of show everyone
Okay.
what we see.
Whoa, just kidding. So there's Legion Sabers right over there.
Yeah, Legion Sabers right over there, right next to us. And that's what we're looking at right there. It's kind of vacated a little bit because there's a panel going on. But yeah, and we're all blurry now.
We're all blurry. Wait, what do we do? I think you gotta like
autofocus it in my hand.
There we go. We're good. No, we're good. There we are. We're not blurry anymore. But yeah.
really good. So you can hear the guests really well. I know that when some of them were in the Coliseum, it was hard to hear. Some like
last year I heard it was like Kit Harington and Amelia Clark were there. That man, the Game of Thrones, that crowd that drew a lot of people here. I know a lot of people came to see them from Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
so it's really cool that we have Spacecon and as well as the superhero and car show as well. That happens here every year. So yeah, San Antonio is they're doing their damnedest to get this to be a premier convention city for all the franchises. And I think within a couple of years, this is going to be a heavy hitter amongst conventions.
Big. I mean, it's just brand new. This is the inaugural Spacecon, and I think it's going to continue because it's getting numbers, man. It's putting up numbers.
If you would have seen the line of cars coming in this morning, you would also.
I'm glad I got here super early.
Yeah, it was bad. It was nuts. But at the same time, I was like, "Oh, this is good. Good for them for having a big convention turnout." But yeah, all right. So anything,
guys? Yeah, I think that's it for this edition of the Star Wars podcast at Spacecon. So
sorry, I just saw Stitch walk by.
For Adam, James, my name is David. And may the force be with you.
Always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we? What happened?
The tradition.
Oh, yeah.